Hey YouTube. Hopefully y'all can hear me. I put the earphones in or whatever, so hopefully my volume is okay. First things first, I just wanted to say I am Damian Moody. I also go by Catch Your Majesty or Red Ron Hood. This is the Catch Your Majesty channel. Um, However, I don't know what happened because I started reading R. Kelly book Soulacoster, The Diary of Me. And what had happened was I was reading the first chapter, like I read some of the book, and I don't know if it just stopped out of nowhere. I don't know what happened. I don't know if I probably had the book on the laptop and I accidentally pressed the button and cut it off. But my last upload should be of me reading the book. That's number one. Number two, I know that R. Kelly is a person that's not liked by many. A lot of people going to criticize, they're going to judge, they're going to wonder why I even decided to get a book about him or written by him or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, I grew up listening to his music. I watch his videos, performances, stuff like that, and I know how to separate the music from the man. It's a lot of y'all who listen to singers, actors, maybe actresses, whoever y'all, rappers who done crazy things, and y'all still support them. So please keep your negative comments to yourself. At the end of the day, all I am doing is reading a book. It is what, Black History Month. February is almost over. I've been slacking because I've been saying that I was going to do a lot of videos throughout the month of February, speaking on Black History topics, different people, but I've been slacking. I've been on the app YouNow showing movies. Last night I watched some of Why Do Fools Fall in Love on Tubi. We don't watch the Fantasia Barrino story, Life is Not a Fairy Tale. We don't watch What's Love Got to Do with It. Um then last night I decided to switch it up a little and I spoke about certain people. Then I also did something relating to Trayvon Martin for his birthday and the anniversary of his death. Then I decided to switch it up a little, and I did something about Lissandro. What's his name? Lissandro Jr. Guzman Feliz, who he's a young man who was killed in New York for my mistaken identity. Some social media crazy situation happened. He was chased down by some gang members in a nearby poppy store. Um, yeah, his chased down in a nearby poppy store in his neighborhood. The gang members followed him in the store, dragged him out, and brutally killed him with machetes and stuff. I don't want to speak too much on it in this video. I'm pretty sure a lot of people that heard the story. But anyway, so I'm just going to decide to try to read this book. Hopefully YouTube let me be great and my video don't end like the last one did. I do appreciate whoever came to my live and sent me that one like. I can't tell who's coming to my live because it don't tell me anything unless y'all comment. I know there are times I come on live and people will come in and leave out, come in and leave out. I won't get a like, I won't get a comment, nothing. So I'm gonna put one of my pairs of glasses on. I'm only deciding to read this book because my phone is probably dead. I usually would go out and do my neighborhood walk, but I don't know. I just ain't feel like going outside today. So anyway, once again, this is Soulacoster, The Diary of Me by R. Kelly. And for those who ain't pay attention to the last videos, so far I done read probably about what 3 chapters already. I done read The Music is Swarming, Mom, and Lulu. Now we on chapter 4 in Act 1. Act 1 is called Back in the Day, and we're on chapter 4, which is titled The Dream. So for those who haven't heard me read the other chapters, please feel free to check out the last 2 live streams that I've done. Hopefully both of them uploaded. When I was about 9 years old, I had a strange dream I'll never forget. I was in the house where everything was white: walls, floor, ceiling, carpet, bricks on the fireplace, curtains at the windows. I saw myself seated at a white piano and playing a song. This was weird because at 9 I didn't know how to play any kind of instrument. But in this dream, the melodies were flying off the keys and filling the room. It was as if I was in the midst of a musical storm. Then suddenly I heard a doorbell. Then suddenly I heard the doorbell. I stopped playing and ran to see who was there. I opened the door, but no one was there. Stretching my neck to look in all directions, I couldn't see a thing. In the distance, though, I heard the faint sound of jiggling. Giggling. I'm sorry. Um, I didn't know who it was that was laughing or what they were laughing about. So when so I went back to the piano, and the beautiful melodies and chords just started back up. Then the doorbell rang again and again. When I got to the door, no one was there, except this time the giggling was louder. The third time it happened, I was at the door practically before the bell rang. I desperately wanted to find out who it was doing all that giggling. I quickly opened the door and standing there were musical notes, except they were all cartoon characters. I tried to reach out and touch them, but they took off and ran like the wind. I chased after them, giving it all I had, but they were too fast for me. I yelled as loud as I could, "Hey, who are you guys?" They stopped dead in their tracks, turned around, and came back to me and said, "We're your biggest hit song." Then, at a blink of an eye, they ran clean out of sight. I went back to the house and sat down at the piano, and I played a melody that was like no other melody I ever heard. I began to sing the hook to the song, but for some strange reason, when I woke up, I could not remember what I was saying in the hook. Couldn't remember the words. It would take about 20 years, but the words came back and the dream made perfect sense. Now, this chapter is called Coffee with Three Creams and Six Sugars. Like I said, there are multiple pictures throughout the book. I have read this book before. I'm not going to show the pictures. If y'all are R. Kelly fans watching this video or coming across this video, or y'all come across my channel, y'all could get the book on your own. I'm just sitting here reading the book throughout my videos. Once again, this chapter is called Coffee with Three Creams and Six Sugars. We moved around a lot when I was young. We lived in the house and projects on 63rd Street in the South Side before moving to a small place on 107th and Parnell. Back then, the projects didn't seem as bad as people made them out to be today. My family knew everybody in the neighborhood, and everybody in the neighborhood knew my family. And as y'all know, R. Kelly is from Chicago, so if any of y'all may know what I'm referring to when I read these chapters and mention certain locations. Um, we were always broke or not having the things we wanted, but I remember love taking the place of the material things we wanted or needed. We might not have had the money to pay the rent a lot of times, but when I remember sitting out on the porch until 1 or 2 in the morning, listening to Al Green or Marvin Gaye and playing cards with my mom and my aunties and cousins, I wish I could have brought that part of my childhood with me into the world of success, because now that I'm successful, that's what's missing in my life. The world I was born in, though, was filled with its own beauty. In the 63rd Street Projects, nothing was more important than the game of basketball. I started hooping when I was 5 with street ball and haven't stopped since. Hooping was everywhere, and me and my brothers would hoop any chance we got. Hooping isn't just a hobby or a sport, it's a way of life. Like indoor supervised basketball and street ball, you had to adapt to the rules of the neighborhood where you played. Aggressive hand and leg checking was allowed. You could play full court or half court. Sometimes three pointers were three pointers, and other times they were just considered beautiful shots. There were no hardwood floors. When you got knocked down, you landed on concrete or asphalt. Some courts had only a rim in the backboard instead of the familiar whoosh of the ball through string net. You listen for a clang of chain or sweet sound of nothingness as the ball dropped through a netless run. I love basketball because it helps me blow off steam. It gives me somewhere I can put some space between all the other things going on in my life, even music. Like music, who makes life good? I love it for fast action and high energy, but I'm going to be straight. I'm also pretty damn good. Thousands of brothers play better than me, but no one loves the game more. Joanne Kelly knew about me in basketball early on. She had vision. Mom never looked behind. She looked ahead. She saw something in me that I could have never seen myself. She understood that I loved basketball more than most other kids. That's why she encouraged my passion for the sport. She knew that nappy headed little Rob needed to feel worthy, strong, and proud. She saw how I loved to compete, so she let me play hoop as much as I wanted. Mom and I always had beautiful times together. It could be something as simple as getting up in the morning and walking to McDonald's. She didn't have enough money to buy us breakfast, only coffee for her and a Danish for us to share. To me, that was enough. I just wanted to be with her. She fixed her coffee with three creams and six sugars, and and tasted, where the hell? And taste it to see if it was sweet enough. She wore the sheet red lipstick, and when she tasted her coffee, she left a red mark on the cup. She always asks me if I wanted a sip, and I always did. Just because I love my mother so much, I always turned the cup to where she had left that red mark. I like to drink from the same spot where she drank. Okay. One day you're going to be famous, baby, she would say with a smile, but I didn't really know what famous meant. I mean famous like Al Green, she added, famous like Sam Cooke and Marvin Gaye. See, you got a beautiful little singing voice that's only going to get bigger and stronger. And then I'm going to have enough money to buy you breakfast here every day. Right, Mom? I would ask. Yes, you will, sweetheart. You sure enough will. My mother would take me back home and after dropping me off, get ready for work. She had a job at a hospital where she was training to be an EKG technician. Before she left, she never failed to kiss me goodbye. Be good today, baby, she said, and listen to your grandma. We lived in a typical Chicago three-family building. We called them three flats. Grandma lived with her man, Uncle Carrie, on the top floor. Uncle Carrie owned a TV repair shop, and some of his customers were never happy. They complained that after Uncle Carrie full with their TVs, they worked worse than before. Uncle Kerry said just didn't want to pay their bills. Grandma was heavy set like mom. I loved her, but the woman had her moods. I could tell when she had her mood swings on because she and Uncle Kerry would get to screaming at each other. That usually meant they were already hitting the hard stuff. They liked their old granddad whiskey, and by early afternoon, they could be down the bottle already. I told you to fix that tea of mine a week ago, Grandma was screaming, and that damn thing still don't work. It was working until you started messing with the antenna, Carrie screamed back. You the one who done fucked it up. Me? Here you go again, blaming me for shit you can't do. What good are you around here if you can't even fix a goddamn television set? If it's so easy, you fix it. I'll fix you, you son of a bitch. It was World War III. Grandma and Carrie went at it something fierce. I couldn't tell if he was beating on her or it was her beating on him. Next thing I heard was Grandma yelling, Rob, Rob, you get up here. I ran upstairs and Grandma told me, go to Mr. Eichenberg's store. Give me a pack of Pall Malls, a hunk of hash, hogshead cheese, and some of them moon pies. I waited for money. What you waiting for, boy? Cash money or food stamps? Don't got either. Tell Mr. Eichenberg I'll pay him on the first. I ran over to his door, wondering if Mr. Eichenberg would go along with Grandma's pay plan and let it slide. He did. Back then, small neighborhood store owners will operate on the basic principle of trust and family ties. You come from good people, he said. Plus, I never seen you try to steal anything from me, not even the candy bar. Never would do nothing like that. I said, and with that, Mr. Eichenberg gave me an almond joy candy bar. Ew, I hate them things. They're nasty. Back at the house, after giving Grandma her stuff, I heard my stuttering Uncle Doug calling me from down in the basement. The basement was his kingdom. Need your help, Rob. Get down here, he yelled. I know people who stutter, so I tried my best to sound like I was stuttering. Uncle Doug was a mess. He had a big pot belly, wild woolly hair, and smelled like someone's sweaty feet. That day, like so many others, drinking wild Irish rose straight out the bottle, he started in with stories about how he'd been shot 4 different times and stabbed another 6 times. I heard them all before. That's crazy because not to keep cutting off, but that's crazy because talking about drinking and stuff, I was at the store with my sister when I went out there and stayed with her for a couple of days. And we went to deli and I seen this drink with Snoop Dogg on it. There was a picture of him in there. I never tasted before, but I was like, I should. I mean, if I had a couple dollars, I should have paid for a bottle just to see what it tastes like. because I see stuff and you'll go to one place and they won't have it, and then you'll go to another location, they be having all this different stuff, and you're like, well, I wonder what that tastes like. But if it got a picture of Snoop Dogg on it, he smoked weed like crazy, so I can only imagine what a drink with his picture on it tastes like. This probably some strong stuff that's gonna have you falling all over the floor. I don't know, but I just walked in the store and seen his picture on the bottle. Mm. Anyway, oh yeah, I heard them all before. You call me down here, tell me stories, Uncle Doug. I asked, no, but boy, I called you down here to see if that did the distant cousin of yours is here. Which one? The one with the big titties. Uncle Doug, why you always want to be looking at big titties? N- no harm in looking. Is she around? No. Well, just stay down here and let you help me get this job done. What job? This here job behind the milk crates. Damn, he stuttered a lot. Uncle Doug walked to the other end of the basement where he dumped nasty old car seats and junky lamps. Bunches of old records were scattered on the floor, dirt and dust everywhere. When he moved the milk crates, I saw Timskins, our German Shepherd, lying there. Oh shit, he didn't kill the dog. Timskins was asleep, I asked. No, Timskins dead. Dead? The dead as in the bitch ain't breathing. How he died? Accident. What kind of accident? I set some poison in the peanut butter to kill the rats. Could kill Simpkins instead. Mom's going to be furious. I said she loves that dog. She can't know. How's she not going to know? You ain't going to tell her. When she comes to find out Simpkins ain't here, what's she going to say? You better not say nothing. Did the dog disappear? Not this dog. This dog don't even go outside. He could go outside now because we burying him in that empty lot down the street. Now put him in this bag and follow me. I'm so sick and tired of trying to stutter. Jesus Christ. They didn't kill the damn dog. I followed my uncle's instructions. I knew better than to argue with my elders, even when my elders did crazy things. Uncle Doug did the supervising, I did the digging, and after a long while, we managed to bury Timskins. That night, when my mother got home, the first thing she asked was, "Where's my dog?" She looked at me, I looked away. I called up to Grandma and Carrie. They were asleep from a long day of drinking and fighting. She called down to Uncle Doug, who didn't answer. She looked at me again. "You know something, Rob. I can see it in your eyes," she said. "You ain't good at lying. Now tell the truth and shame the devil." Truth is, I hesitated. I wasn't comfortable snitching on Uncle Doug. I wasn't comfortable snitching on anyone. Truth is what? She insisted. Truth is that Uncle Doug's rat poison killed Timskins. Oh Lord, she cried. Now I'm going to have to go down there and kill Uncle Doug. Next thing I heard was a big commotion from the basement. My mother was down there chasing Uncle Doug, and Uncle Doug was doing all he could to duck and hide. "You can run, you bastard," she said, "but you can't hide. But boys lying. Uncle Doug lied. I didn't kill your the dog. My boy don't ever lie to me, said Joy and Kelly, and never will. There's only one motherfucking liar around here, and that's you. Now you're going to give me a new dog, or I'll kick your sorry ass from here to Mississippi. By noon the next day, Uncle Doug was presenting Mom with a newborn mongrel puppy. Well, she never killed the dog. I'm sorry, y'all, because that stuttering was getting on my nerves. And I know by whoever watched this video, y'all probably like, why the hell? Well, like he said, his Uncle Doug had stuttering problems. And he would cook crazy as hell. He on top of some land of the free, home of the brave. So clearly he went to Puerto Rico and now he back. Child. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just child. Bullshit. Sorry, y'all. I was on Instagram. A friend of mine went to Puerto Rico. Yeah, I think he went to Puerto Rico. Anyway, so this chapter is called Women in the House. Growing up in the hood, the number one rule was don't snitch, don't tell. Like learning 2 plus 2 equals 4. It was drilled into you. And if you didn't know 2 plus 2 equals 4, you failed. In the hood, if you snitch, you weren't going to make it. Well, shit. A lot of people be snitching. There was always women in our little house at 40th and King. There were cousins, aunties, friends of my aunties, all older women. When my mother wasn't home, the women ran a little a littler freer, meaning that when my mom or my grandmother were home, they dressed a certain way. When my mother and grandmother were out, they felt free to wear less clothing. You could see through their blouses. Sometimes they wore bras, sometimes they didn't. When they walked around in nightgowns or pajamas, you could see their panties. And on a few occasions, like on a very hot summer day, man, excuse me, like on a very hot summer days, they wouldn't even wear panties. As a very young boy, I didn't think much of it. The women didn't really pay me, much attention to me or my brothers. I looked at them the way any kid would. Kids were naturally fascinated by body parts, and I was no different. As I crept up in age, though, and made my way through grammar school, I found myself more curious and sometimes aroused. And I was ashamed of being aroused. But there was no one I felt I could talk to about this. I couldn't have a sit down with my mother because I wouldn't know what to say or how to say it. There was no man that I trusted enough to share such shameful feelings with. Growing up with that shame has haunted me throughout my life. One winter afternoon, I came back from school early when my mother wasn't home. As I came through the door, I heard a strange noise. It sounded like bed strings squeaking. The walls in our place were paper thin, and sound came through like there wasn't any walls at all. The squeaking got louder and louder. Then I heard voices, a woman scream, and it didn't sound like a scream of pain or panic. Then I heard a man's voice shouting, and it wasn't in anger. Oh God, do it, get it right there, baby, right there. The woman pleaded. You like it, don't you, bitch? How much you want it? How much can you take? The man shouted. All you got, the woman shouted back. What the hell? Yeah, they's running a brothel in your house. I was just 8 years old. I didn't understand what was happening. I thought the man was maybe hurting the woman, but that didn't seem right. I was confused, curious, so I went to see for myself. I crept toward the bedroom where the noises were coming from. They were doing so much hollering, I figured they wouldn't hear the door if I opened it just a little. Then I looked inside. A man's backside was high in the air, coming down on the lady with her legs spread wide, her big booty propped up on the pillow. I didn't understand how it was all working, but he was moving down on her and she was coming up on him. First, the rhythm was slow, then faster, then crazy fast. They were screaming, moaning, going wild. I couldn't stop looking. I never seen anything like this before. Screaming, cursing, being sagging, bodies bumping. Just then, the woman caught sight of me. They stopped abruptly. Little Robert, what you doing in here, boy? I got scared and started running. She shouted out, come on back, it's okay. They were still in bed, both of them naked, when she said, you can watch, but you better not say shit to nobody about this. I knew the woman in my house weren't dressing or acting right. My mother or grandmother wouldn't dream of parading around the house half dressed. At the same time, I couldn't snitch. In my house and growing up in the hood, the number one rule was don't snitch, don't tell. It was the same. I keep forgetting that certain parts of the book is written twice. Anyway, it was the same as learning 2 plus 2 equals 4. It was drilled into you. If you didn't know 2 plus 2 equals 4, you fell. In the hood, if you snitched, you weren't going to make it. Still, as I grew older, things began to change when I was around these women. When I was 9, it changed in a major way. I began to regret this code of silence. If my mother had known what was going on in the house, she probably would have burned the house down. She didn't play that. I wanted to tell her, but I had a hard time trying to figure out who would really be in trouble, me or them. At that age, I didn't really know how to handle it. I knew it wasn't right, but I just didn't know how to say anything about it. Talking about it was strange, so I locked it away as my own little secret. At the time, mine was going out with Lucius, a man she later married when I was still a kid. I wasn't happy about it because I wanted her to stay home with me, but Lucius was okay. He was a nice man, nice to me, and most times nice to my mother. He liked to tell stories about his army days. Since my real day was long gone, I like listening to an older man talking about back in the day. I saw Lucius more like a big brother than a father. My mother and Lucius went out together often. Sometimes they left me with Uncle Doug. My brothers didn't like Lucius, but my attitude was different from theirs. Anything that made mom happy made me happy too. One Sunday evening when we were watching TV, don't watch that television set all night, mom said before she and Lucius left the house. Me and my brothers like horror movies. We were watching The Creature from the Black Lagoon. I think I heard that before. When the TV crapped out, picture went dead. I called up to Uncle Carrie to fix it, but he was snoring loud enough to wake the dead. My brothers went all to bed, but I kept banging on the TV, hoping to get the picture back. When it did pop back on, the monster was rising out of the Black Lagoon. I was waiting to see what would happen next when, just like that, the damn picture crept out again. Oh, shoot. Disgusted, I fell asleep on the couch. I was far away in some dream when I heard that same noise. Being strange squeaking. The guy yelling, "Tell me how much you like it, bitch." The lady screamed back, "Give it to me. Give me give me all you got." I got up and looked around the house to make sure my mother wasn't home yet. She was still out with Lucius. This time I knew what all the noise was about, and truth be told, I wanted to have another good look. He's so damn nosy. That's why his ass keep getting in trouble. I opened the door just enough to see them kick in their hard. I mean, they were deep into it. I stood there for a while, and just as I started to close the door, the woman spied me. "Don't move, Rob," she said. I was scared, didn't know what to expect. "Come over here and get this camera," she said. "Take a picture of us." I was dumbfounded, couldn't say a word. "You know how to use this thing, don't you?" I was too stunned to talk. All I could do was shake my head no. "It's easy," she said. "Just aim this camera and snap the goddamn picture." She gave me a Polaroid camera. The guy liked the idea as much as she did. They got into positions where I could see their private parts. I snapped the picture. What kind of wild shit is this? When she when she showed me how it took only a minute to develop, I was amazed. The photographic technology impressed me more than the sex. She grabbed the photo and kept it for herself. I took the memory of them doing the dirty and stashed it inside my mind's brick box. A couple of Saturday nights later, mom was out again, and I was sitting on the couch with Uncle Doug. We were watching TV. My favorite show was The Jeffersons. But on this particular night, we were looking at Three's Company. Well, if it was an adult in the house, somebody should know what the hell was going on. Uncle Doug turned to me and asked, "Now here he go, his stuttering. This here is every man's dream. Every man's dreams of living with two women. Which one did it do you like?" The blonde, I said, "Chrissy, I like both them bitches." Uncle Doug said, "Ain't but about to kick either one out of my bed." Halfway through the show, the TV went dead again. Carrie, Uncle Doug shouted, "Where's my motherfucking lane?" Hold on, I gotta read this again because there's too much stuttering. Carrie, Uncle Doug shouted, "Where's my motherfucking lame ass repairman when we need him?" Oh, he said, "Where's that?" I'm sorry. This stuttering is irritating. Going out with Grandma, I said. Uncle Doug let out a big sigh. "Oh well, we probably better all if he start fooling with the TV, the fucking thing would blow up and burn the house down." But boy, I had enough for one today. I'm going to bed. Good night, Uncle Doug. Good night, I Rob. I stayed on the couch, staring at the dark TV, thinking what it might be like to have a dad like George Jefferson, someone with enough money to move us all into a fancy high rise in the sky. I started thinking of Jack Tripper, the guy in Three's Company, in the cool but confusing situation that he was in. I drifted off to sleep and fell into a crazy dream about Three's Company when a strange feeling in my body woke me up. The feeling was down below my belt. I opened my eyes and saw that a female was playing with me. She was at least 10 years older than me. I was 8. "What you doing?" I asked. "You'll like it," she said. "It'll feel good. Look what happens when I rub it." What kind of weird, crazy shit is this? Oh, so, and then the crazy thing about it is they had an adult in the damn house, so why was all of this going on? She kept rubbing till I got hard. I didn't say nothing. Then she put it in her mouth and started sucking. What the fuck? At first, I was scared she was going to do something crazy like bite me. I tried to push her away, but she wouldn't stop until she was finished. When she was, she said, "You better not say shit to no one, or else you're going to get a terrible whooping," she threatened. I knew she meant business. I knew to keep quiet. Every time she did and she did it repeatedly for years. She warned me about what would happen to me if I snitched. No matter how many times it happened, I knew I could never tell anyone. I was too afraid and too ashamed. All I could do was stash the secret and hide it in my imaginary brick box. You in the damn imaginary brick box. It makes no sense that you just said your Uncle Doug went to sleep. He's probably a doe. Why the hell was all this stuff happening in that house and no one heard about it yet? All right, y'all. So clearly, he had adults that he was cool with. He was very close to his mom. Seemed like he was cool with his uncle Doug and his grandma and Uncle Carrie. Um, but he had a lot of people that lived in some of the houses he lived in Chicago. And when his mom and grandma wasn't home, the house was a whorehouse. And it started off with some of the prostitutes getting down and dirty and trying to get him to take pictures. And he was very young, 8 years old, I'm guessing. And then it got to the point where one minute he had taken pictures, the next minute he was sexually assaulted by a prostitute. And in Chicago, or just the street code in the hood was don't snitch. So he is afraid of snitching, although he did snitch on his uncle about killing the dog. He was threatened not to snitch. So he pretty much didn't. He kept a lot of secrets in his imaginary box or whatever it's called. All right, so this chapter is called Sunday Morning. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me check something real quick before I get to the next chapter. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm over here just looking at something. That's why I got quiet. All right, y'all. As I read this book, like I said, I hope that the when I read the first chapter or whatever uploaded, but y'all can feel free to let me know how y'all feel about the book, what y'all like, what y'all don't like. Like I said, I know a lot of y'all are probably going to criticize me and my channel for reading a book about R. Kelly, but anyway. I used to be snapping the hell out and don't even know what the hell I was snapping out about. I know I'm supposed to be reading a book, but I'm over here reading an old post I did back in 2014. I used to be snapping out on people. So one post say earlier today I had gotten 150 on my car, and it is just 2:57 a.m. and I do not have shit anymore because I bought myself a tablet and some other shit. I was going to save my money because at first I went to 4 stores today. I went to Family Dollar twice. Then when I left Family Dollar the second time, I went to my normal hair store I go to, and they didn't have what I wanted. Then I went to the new hair store, and my card number did not work. So I took my ass to the ATM at the gas station. That shit didn't work there either. Upset at the fact I had this PayPal card with my name on it, and I can't get shit from the store off of it. I decided to shop online. Got carried away and spent up all my money. Then the other sad thing about this shit is it didn't come until the next time around March, meaning I'm going to have to wait until the end of next week. I don't know why I used to write in all caps. Then I wrote another post back in 2014. It says, one thing about me is I hate when I am in a store and something wrong with my hair or something, so everyone want to keep coming by me, staring and commenting shit under their breath. I had on my dad's brown hoodie, some jeans, my tan birthday shoes, and my hood was off, so my hair was a little messy. I go in the store, the hair store, no doubt, and as I am going in my favorite aisles to get what I want, I'm carrying a box of a mannequin in it, shampoo and conditioner, gold hair dye, and some hairpins and the comb set, as well as some styling gel. This woman and her man was arguing silently in the store, and when I got near them, they wanted to get a little louder. So I am looking around to make sure I got the right shit. And here this bitch goes. She keeps staring at me for some reason. Her man didn't give eye contact until I walked past them, saying excuse me, because his hand was in my way, pointing at something. A few minutes later, I am looking back at that same aisle they were and they still there talking shit. When they go pay for their shit, they leave, and when I get to paying for my shit, my fucking card doesn't work. Talking about my card number is not the right number. Upset, I stomp out the store in anger and go home for a while to calm down. Go to the ATM to get the same info and come back home pissed off and tired. I take my nap, wake up at 11:50, and here I am at 3:12 a.m. after I done some online shopping. And hopefully this shit do not take too long to come in the mail. Yeah, that had to be the Belly Street days. Yeah, that had to be the Belly Street days because there was always something going on. I mean, always something going on. But anyway, y'all, I'ma just read. I'ma just finish reading some other time because I don't ever feel like reading. This book is a lot. I'll probably wait a little bit later and come back and read. We are currently on the chapter Sunday morning, so yeah, I'm gonna come back a little later. So y'all like, comment, subscribe, and I'll get back to y'all. Cause this book is a lot.